Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we are here to watch a sipology training. Sipology? Opportunity call? I don't know what it is. I have not watched it. I've only flipped through a little bit and it seemed like it was interesting enough. I also have never ever made a video on sipology, so I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, right? They always have some weird pronunciations. I've never made a video on them, so I thought we are gonna watch this training or this call, whatever it is, today and just see what's up over there, I guess. See how problematic they are. Before we get into it though, as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here, and everyone else who's just watching, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. That's a nice free way to support my channel if you'd like, of course. And let's just get into this. I don't have a lot of time. I think I have only 40 minutes to record this video, so it is 27 minutes long, so let's just get into it.
Hey, you guys, welcome everyone. I'm gonna get chat pulled up, give it a minute for everybody to hop on. I know some were in the waiting room waiting for this to start, so I am so stinking excited. I absolutely love these. Welcome everyone to our Join, Grow, Earn with Sipology opportunity event. And we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. As you're jumping on, let us know where you're watching from. I always find that so interesting since this is live to Canada and the States. And so it's always fun to see where everybody is watching, tuning in from. And there's a lot that I know watch the replay as well. Hey, everybody. Maine, Lakefield, Ontario, Pennsylvania. So we've already got States and Canada on. Minnesota. You guys, it's spring. It's finally spring. I'm ready for all the spring weather. However, we are having some crazy storms right now. Colorado, welcome everyone. Welcome. I'll give it just a minute for everybody to hop on, but I'm Kayla. I get to be the host for the event tonight. And I always love these. I get to kind of interview some top leaders, a couple leaders for you to hear from them. And the way that Sipology has it set up right now for new people joining is just incredible. Not only do you have two different kit options, the $29 digital kit or the $129 ultimate kit, you're also eligible for over $1,000 in bonuses in your first 30 days, which is just insane to me. You know, I say it pretty much on every Zoom, just catching myself being like, what would $1,000 do for you? For some of you, maybe it's a summer vacation. For some of you, maybe it's paying down some debt. For some, maybe it's just giving some breathing room with finances, with bills, with things like that. But whatever it is, $1,000 can definitely make the difference. And we have a game plan, a roadmap to show you exactly how to unlock it. With all that being said, you may still be listening in and thinking, you know, can I really find success with Sipology? And one of the things that I've learned is success leaves clues. And that's why I think I love these, is because we get to talk to two leaders that have seen success. We get to hear their stories, and stories are just always what speak to my heart. And so I can't wait for you to hear from these leaders tonight. So welcome everyone. Laura will probably be right back on. I'll make sure to watch for an update from her. And Tisha, we're starting with you. So real quick, you know, I really like taking it way back, because our people listening in, you know, they're kind of sitting there, they're questioning, is this the right fit for me? So before you joined Sipology, what did life look like, and what made you even look at this as an option?
Yeah, thanks for the intro there. So before I even got started in Sipology, I was actually a full-time university student. So I had just graduated. I moved to Edmonton, Alberta, for those of you who are in Canada and know where that is. And I kind of jumped into university pretty fast. I knew I wanted to go to university. I knew I wanted to kind of get out, do my own thing, but I wasn't necessarily sure on what I wanted to do. So to be honest with you, it was a little bit of a spontaneous decision. But that's where I feel like I really did find myself, and it's a part of my journey. So I know that, you know, everything that I've done up to this point got me to where I was today. So I was doing my psychology degree, and before I was introduced, that's what I was in, and I was planning ultimately to go into elementary education. So I was your typical university student living on the student loans, really did not have money. I was literally like getting through school and, paying rent all on like student loans and stuff. So I was not like at the time as well, like the type of person I was not your typical leader or someone that you'd look at and be like, oh, she would be so good at a business like this. Like, honestly, I used to be very shy. My biggest fear was public speaking. And it just seems crazy to me that I could even do something like this today. But that was my biggest fear in the world. And I just felt like I was always that person that was more of a follower, right? Like I didn't want to take the lead on anything. I'd rather be told what to do. I'd rather just not have an opinion, because I was always the kind of type of person that was just scared about what other people might maybe think of me. So
they always like to say this. I think I just had a rant last week or something in a video of mine about public speaking and all of that. That's all great. Like it's great if you can be comfortable with that, but it's not for everyone. And I personally think no matter how much you do it, sometimes for some people, you're never gonna feel fully comfortable with public speaking. And there's nothing wrong with that, unless it's really, really needed or for your job, or if you really, really want to get better at it. We don't have to all be comfortable with public speaking. The way they present it is as if everyone needs to be comfortable with this. This is great. You should do it because you're going to be able to public speak. And it's like, no one cares. I don't have to public speak for my job, or like some would say this is public speaking, but in my eyes, it's not, because I'm just talking into a camera. I can edit the awkward silence parts where I lose my brain, where I lose my train of thought. I'm not putting myself out there to public speak in front of everyone in a live stream or something like that. I would never be able to get on a stage or like public or do a live stream. I would love to be able to live stream just to chat with you guys, but I'm just like, I can't do it. It gives me too much anxiety, and I don't think it's a necessity. I think we get along just fine in the comments on Instagram and things like that. Yeah, like who cares? You know what I mean? Just a note on the public speaking thing, because it's really annoying when they keep saying that.
That's kind of like the type of person that I was. And as I was in school, I was kind of like, I wasn't really sure. I was like, is this what I was meant to do? Am I really passionate about what I'm doing? And I actually had a bit of I did my psychology degree. I went into elementary education, and I was having a bit of a tough time just mentally. I just was struggling with, was this what I was supposed to be doing? And just had a little bit of like issues with, my mental health going down at one point. And I felt like, oh my gosh, like it just seems like, I made this jump so soon. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And so what happened is, while I was in school, is my mom's friend kind of talked to me about sipology, and she's the one who introduced it to me and asked me if I would be willing to do a little tea party at home. And I was a huge tea drinker. So I was like, absolutely. Like I never drank coffee. And so I was just a huge tea drinker. So I was like, yeah, let's do a party. So I hosted my in-home party, invited some friends and family to it. And that ended up being very successful. I was amazed, blown away by the teas, because I was always like I was always a tea drinker, but I had never tasted tea that amazing. So I instantly fell in love with the product. And then after the party, I ended up getting like the max rewards, got a ton of awesome free goodies for myself. And she actually asked me if I would ever consider doing this. And at the time, I'm thinking, I'm a full-time university student. Do I really have time to do something like this? So that's kind of that's what my life was like before she even asked me. And then I kind of just, I was open to it. She explained it to me. And when I heard the flexibility, I was like, you know what, like, let's give this a try, and just see where it goes. And at the end of the day, if I get some free tea out of this, I will be happy. Like that was literally the only goal. So yeah, that's kind of just my before story, what I was kind of like before, and, how I kind of got into it.
I love it. I love it, because I know that there's so many people, like students that are in college right now, or even students that just graduated college, and they're looking for that extra income, something to help with student loans, something to help with,
Okay, what extra income? This is very annoying, because they're targeting students. They're vulnerable, they're young. They may not even know what MLMs are. They may not be able to recognize a pyramid scheme, a product-based pyramid scheme, in my opinion. These ladies might be brainwashed. This one might be, but the other one is one of the leaders. So I feel like she knows at this point how it works in MLMs, but I don't know, that's just my opinion.
Student debt, like loan debt, all that fun stuff, and this can be an opportunity for them as well. So I love hearing like where you were before. So, and I also know that you work it on Instagram and with Reels a lot. I was watching some right before this, actually. So now that you've joined, what has life looked like now? What, experiences or changes that you've seen since joining?
Yeah, so honestly, this whole experience has been completely life-changing for me. So I am doing this business full time now. Like I said at the time, my only goal was to just, if I get some free tea out of this, like that is fantastic. That is all that I was really going for there. But I ended up getting so much more than just, some free and discounted tea out of it. So for me, like I said, I kind of described how my personality was before, what I was kind of doing before. So when I actually ended up, I graduated with my elementary education degree, completed it. I did what a typical person would do: apply for jobs, and I ended up getting calls for interviews. And at the time, that's when my business was actually kind of starting to take off a bit. I loved it. I actually started to see this more like confident version of myself when I was just doing like online events. I love that it fit into my lifestyle because I'll be honest, a little like obviously shy at the time, and also moving to a big city. I come from a very small town, so I'm like, how am I going to do all this in-person stuff? And I actually did do one with my family and friends at the beginning, and I mean, it blew me away that I was even able and capable of doing that. But the confidence that I started to see in myself was amazing, and even more important than that, it was the passion. And I feel like that's when I really found my passion for what I was put on this earth.
A passion for what? A passion for cold messaging people, trying to recruit them? I don't mean to judge, but if that's your passion in life, girl, that's sad.
To do. So like the personal growth through this experience has been like absolutely insane for me.
Also, you really don't need to join an MLM scheme in order to grow your confidence. Like, there's a lot of different things that you can do to do that. Even if you want to get better at public speaking, joining an MLM is not the way you should do that.
It just kind of started with, making a little bit of extra income to do the little things. So I'm a huge sushi addict. And so I loved going out for sushi when I was in the city with my friends, and it gets expensive. Like you just can't go for dinner all the time. So when I started doing this, it was something little, like it started feeding the sushi addiction. And then something even bigger happened after that. And I was actually able to pay off for my entire final year of elementary education, like in full with my tea earnings. It was insane. And that's when I really started to see the opportunity here. So like I was saying, I was applying for jobs, and then I actually ended up getting a bunch of calls for interviews. And I did not go to one of them because it just did not feel right. And it seems crazy. And some people probably thought I was crazy, but I'm like, I don't think it's what I was meant to do. And like where I am right now, and with my team starting to develop and my business starting to grow, I knew that if I were to dive into something like that right away, that I would just completely lose it all. And I felt like, I was in that moment where I'm like, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do. So I took the plunge. I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start doing this kind of full time. I kind of subbed on the side for a bit. And then I didn't actually go into it full time. But a lot of the skills I learned throughout university is actually like a lot of what I use today, and, to teach my team and to help other people grow as well. So that alone, like it's just been so life-changing for me. Even the community, I feel like it's changed kind of the type of person I was. I would consider myself a shy person. Now I can actually consider myself very outgoing. I love meeting people. I love talking to people, and this community that I've created with my team that
Joining an MLM apparently changes your whole personality. Yeah, I talk to a lot of people on Instagram and on YouTube, and I love all the connections that I made with people. All of that. I share stories. I do these videos. I seem chill and whatever, but I'm shy as fuck. No matter what I do, no matter how much I'm around people or how much public speaking I do, that's not gonna change the fact that I'm still a shy bitch, okay? I'm always gonna be shy. That's just how I am. There's nothing wrong with being shy as well. I don't like the implication here that that's something bad and she's so great now or so much better now that she's not shy anymore. Maybe that's not what she meant, but as a shy person, I took that as an insult, apparently. If you don't want to be shy, if you want to work on that, being a little bit more extroverted or outgoing, MLMs are not a solution for that either. There's like literally courses and stuff that you can take on public speaking that may help you get a little bit more comfortable around people. But I don't think that's necessarily gonna change your personality. Again, that you're not gonna be shy. You're just gonna be more comfortable around people. It's not black and white like that. It really is gray.
Met when I came into the company. everyone is so uplifting, positive. And I feel like I just have a completely different view on life now. Like I've been able to change my mindset completely. Like even just like little negative things that used to bother me, I don't even think about them anymore. I don't think about the things I can't control. And so being surrounded by people all the time that are happy.
Me neither, but I'm not in an MLM. I didn't get to this point because of an MLM.
That are positive, that are uplifting. It really reflects back on the type of person who I am. So that is what I love about it. I am the happiest I've ever been. I'm the most like mentally and physically healthy that I've ever been. And yeah, my heart is just so happy. So that's honestly, it's been life-changing. So
yeah, so much from that though. Like, those that are watching that have not joined yet, that has doubts and fears, like we want you to know it's normal. Like the confidence comes after you join. The confidence comes, and then not only that, you talking about finding your passion and finding like your purpose and all, it's who you become on your way to success that is the biggest reward of it all. Like it's not even the success at the end, it's who you become along the way. That is just incredible. And with this community, you're going to see that pretty fast. So with that being said, and I have to comment on the fact of some of the things that you learned while going into education, you have been able to use with your team. I'm also in education. I was a teacher before stepping into direct sales. Could not agree with that more. So many of the things that we learned are used in the industry. So completely agree for any teachers watching. Well, okay, so if somebody is watching right now and they're on the fence, they're thinking about joining, still have doubts, still have fears, we now know that's normal. But what would you say to them if you could just talk to them like directly for a second? What would you say to someone on the fence?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like when people are considering joining and they're kind of on the fence, people are always weighing out like the pros and the cons of the business, right? People are like, okay, what's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? And I feel like the biggest thing that come to people's head is that like, well, worst case scenario is I fail and I'm bad at it. And then, I don't do good. But the honest truth is that you cannot fail in this business. You can only fail if you physically try to and you quit. Like this whole thing set out, we have a whole success start program. I always say, if you give this an honest shot for 90 days and you come in with 3 things, you come in with a good attitude, you come in with an open mind, and you come in with a willingness to learn and give it an honest shot for 90 days, I have no doubt that you will thrive in this business. So stop looking at.
Okay. So 99% of people across all multi-level marketing companies that never make any profit just quit. Gotcha. Great.
At the worst case scenario and something that you can control, right? You don't have to quit. You can really give this an honest shot, where the best case scenario, again, I thought the best case scenario was I was going to get some free tea out of it. And way more than that has happened. I've been able to make this my full-time income, my full-time career. I get to work from home, make my own hours. And there's so many things that, that is in that best case scenario. And again, that worst case scenario, like at the end of the day, you gave it an honest shot. If you go with the ultimate kit that we have this month, which is incredible, like you get a ton of quality products for the price that you're paying. Like at the end of the day, like that is the worst case scenario.
No, lady, the worst case scenario is that people literally go into debt because of MLMs. People literally lose their loved ones because they are taught that if someone is not supporting your biz, your MLM biz, they don't love you. They're jealous. They don't want you to succeed. We've seen that happen so many times before. MLMs ruin relationships. Not always, but a lot of the times. Like I said, people lose money, especially if you're targeting students that are already in debt. They have a lot to lose.
Get stuck with a bunch of amazing products and tea, and the best case scenario is that you absolutely change your life. So I just say, give it a shot, come in with those 3 things that I said. And honestly, I don't think you'll be disappointed, especially with the community and support that you'll receive here.
Oh my gosh, could not agree more. Thank you so much. I love it all. And now kind of switching over, Laura, it's funny because Laura, I think I want you to take us back like before you joined Sipology too, but you were not a tea drinker at all. Correct. Right? Like you were Correct. Not. So yeah, take us like let's just go polar opposite here. Take us way back to before Sipology. What did life look like for you? What made you even look at this opportunity? Not even being a tea drinker. Just go ahead.
All right. Well, I don't even use the word hate, but I'll say I hate tea. I thought it was absolutely so disgusting. I grew up only on Lipton. And so I didn't even understand why people would offer tea at my house. And I heard, Tisha, I love your story. And I know that you said you drank tea beforehand. And I don't even know. I drank zero tea, like nothing. And I I was a huge coffee drinker, huge coffee drinker. I had 2 ventis from Starbucks a day, which is way too much caffeine. And I actually had to look for an alternative to coffee because I was having heart palpitations, and I'm an open heart surgery survivor. So I walk into my cardiologist and I tell him that I'm having heart problems again. And he said, what's the problem? And I was like, every day I start having these heart palpitations. And he asked me when I started having these heart palpitations. And I'd say whenever I was having my second venti from Starbucks a day. And he asked me in a very serious voice, like, did you not think that much coffee would give you heart palpitations? And honestly, I just never thought. I didn't know this at all. Now I know it. Obviously, we all know it now that we sell tea. Heart palpitations are a common side effect of coffee, but I had no idea. So he told me to try to find an alternative to coffee.
Yeah, here we go, demonizing coffee once again. Obviously, it's bad if you drink too much coffee. It's bad for you. If you drink too much of anything, it's potentially bad for you. If you eat too much of everything, it's gonna be bad for you. That's just how that works. The solution here is not to stop. I give up.
And I was also a huge soda drinker. Pre-sipology, I would have like 5 Diet Pepsis a day, and which is really bad. And I'm not super healthy, but I was healthy-ish, and I knew that was not healthy. So I was looking for an alternative to soda as well. And I was walking through the mall one day, and one of our competitors was offering loose leaf tea. And I don't know what made me try it. I had my 3 kids on my arms, and I was walking, falling over my own feet, but something about it was a dessert flavored tea, and something about it just really was like talking to me. So I decided to try it, and I could not believe how good that loose leaf tea could taste. And so I kept asking them, are you sure it's low sugar? Are you sure it's low calorie? Like, they wanted me out of the store, but I came home with a bunch of bags of tea, and I was trying them one by one, loving it, telling everyone about it. I stopped having so much coffee, and my heart palpitations started going away almost instantaneously. They told me it was at David's Tea, they told me to put the teas in seltzer to make soda. So I started doing that, and I gave up my soda habit. And all of a sudden, my skin started to look better. I was losing weight. I was feeling great. So I was just looking, at the time though, I lived in the middle of nowhere. And I was about 25 minutes from the mall. So I was trying to look for the middle of nowhere, New Jersey, which isn't really the middle of nowhere, but middle of nowhere, New Jersey. And so I was looking for an alternative I was looking for a way to get the tea delivered to my house. And I honestly just stumbled across.
I was just gonna say middle of nowhere, but you're like 25 minutes away from a mall.
Sipology by Steep Tea, which was called Steep Tea back in the day, 5 years ago. And I saw that it was one of the fastest growing companies in Canada. And I saw that it was on Dragon's Den. And I am obsessed with Shark Tank. So that's the Canadian equivalent to Shark Tank. And I am obsessed with Shark Tank. So I had to watch the episode. And I couldn't believe that 4 of the top investors in the world wanted in on this deal. I don't think I needed to see anything else. Once I saw that 4 of the top investors in the world wanted to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get in this company, I figured I might as well spend my $99 to get in on this company. And so I really didn't know that much about tea at all. I didn't think I was going to be successful at all because I had no idea about anything, but I just knew that if those dragons wanted in on the deal and we were backed by 2 of the top investors in the world, I needed to get in on this as well. So I decided to start, and I went in all in, but I was very nervous at the time.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Like, I love how it is. It's just completely polar opposite. Like, how you even have, and I'm in the South. So the only tea that I was ever served was like the sweetest tea that is known to mankind. And so I had never been introduced to loose leaf tea until sipology. So my life has completely been changed as well because of loose leaf tea, and just my entire belief on tea in general has changed. So can totally relate in a different way, but yes. So, okay, 5 years, I think you said. That's a lot of time. I know a lot of life has happened. What are some things you've noticed since joining? Experiences, ways that life has changed, all that fun stuff. What are some things you've noticed?
I have noticed a lot. This has completely changed my life. I know Tisha said that too, and it completely changed my life as well. I absolutely love every single thing about it. I am a multiple six-figure income earner, but that's not what I do this for. I absolutely love having fun, and I have the best time with sipology. I agree with so much of what Tisha said about happy and motivated and energized people that we're so fortunate to surround ourselves with. My confidence, I used to be a hot mess mom of three. I still am that hot mess mom of three, but I am more confident in being about being that hot mess mom of three. I have seen that I used to be so scared of what people thought of me. To take my first selfie, I was so scared. I remember how scared I was to take my first selfie. And I now think about it now. And I was so scared of it because I was so scared what other people were going to think of me. And it's so silly because nobody's going to think anything else but exactly what they think of you now just because you're posting a selfie. But I was so scared of that. But then you start to do it and you start getting proud of yourself. So when I posted my first selfie, I was proud of myself. When I did my first live video, I was proud of myself. Doing my first reel, I'm nowhere near where Tisha is, but I do some reels and I'm like proud of myself for that, right? You get so proud of yourself. And you see yourself doing things, and then all of a sudden you get confident in other aspects of your life, and it's amazing. And I went from
This is literally the same stuff that the first rep said. And like I said before, like I'm just not commenting because she's saying basically the same stuff over and over again. MLMs are really not the solution. Whatever the hell you want to change about yourself or your life, you will not find that change in MLMs.
Being such a insecure person to someone who is so confident in their own skin. And I just absolutely think that it is so game changing. And I also love having fun, and traveling is my love language. So far, I've been on 7 trips. I've been to Rome, LA, Nashville, on a cruise, Punta Cana, Bahamas, China, and now we're going to St. Martin, which I'm super excited about. So I absolutely love traveling. And I think just finding this community, I think probably is the highlight of sipology for me. I think just getting to know my whole downline has been absolutely incredible. Getting to know everyone, other leaders like Tisha and all the other amazing leaders in Canada and US. We're lucky that we get to know both countries. But everyone is just super uplifting, and they have helped in some hard times that I've had over the last 5 years. And it is such an amazing community. So I think that is and we won an award for being an amazing community. And I think it was well deserved. Well, Tanya won the founder won an award, and I think it was well deserved. And I know why we won it. She won it.
Oh, I completely agree. The community is something that you just feel. You feel so fast. I mean, if y'all go and look in the chat, you'll see some of the community. Laura, you've got some team members on here that are cheering you on. I see them in the comments too. And it's something that it's so hard to put into words, but once you experience it, I don't know, it's almost like people can believe in you until you believe in yourself. And the whole thought of what are people going to think of me, that one question has killed more dreams than I think any other question out there. It is so normal to question, what are others going to think? It's just like you said, they're going to think the same thing. They're going to think, just like that, what they've always thought. So I absolutely love that. Don't let that question stop you if you are one of the ones watching. So if there is someone watching right now, once again, on the fence, they're thinking about giving it a try. Maybe they are also experiencing that question of what are others going to think about me, or can I really do this? What would you say to them if you could just talk directly to them?
I would say I understand, first of all, because I left out part of my story is that my husband told me that I should just go buy the damn kit because I was analyzing way too much. So I understand. I was thinking about it. I was on the fence. A lot of us are scared that it's about time, or about not having the correct training, or not knowing enough people, or scared that you're just not going to be. All these basically boil down to the fact that people are scared they're not going to be successful. And success to everyone is so different, right? And even if you become more confident, you will be successful. And that is a huge thing, right? Success is defined in a million ways. But I will say this, if I had the exact same fear that I wasn't going to be successful, and I know that if I didn't take this one chance, I wouldn't have changed my life. And I've seen 3,500 people on my team, and I could tell you 2 things that make people successful. And it has nothing to do with where they come from. It has nothing to do with who they are as a person. It doesn't matter what personality type there are. There's introverts and extroverts. It doesn't matter. What matters the most is, and Tisha said something similar, but I always say it's if you're coachable and you're willing to go out of your comfort zone.
If she has 3,000 people in her downline, over 3,000, I would love to know how many of them are on top alongside of her. How many of them earn any kind of money? They don't have to work a full-time job on the side. A full-time job on the side. It's been a long day. I would love to know that. I think those are fair questions.
And you are most likely to be successful. And that's all you need to be. So if you are either of those, if you're both of those things, then get off the fence. I promise you, you'll get the best training. And guys, I am jealous of you newbies. I came in 5 years ago and there was no training, right? We didn't have trainings on our team even. We didn't have trainings on social media. We had nothing, right? Now you guys get so much. In your first 90 days, you get trained by Megan Brewster. You also are trained at the same time by Kayla and Jess. They are both.
I'm gonna assume that 5 years ago was very early stages of sipology. So yeah, you joined early with no training available. And yet you're a lot more successful than any of the people that join nowadays when it's oversaturated. I wonder why. Is it because your biggest chance of actually being successful in an MLM company is if you join early, regardless of the training availability?
So they're all 3 of them are the most incredible trainers I've seen. And we get them. Like, that is what is amazing. Like, I cannot believe how incredible this company is because they give us the trainers. And the best part about it is whenever there's a promotion, they'll tell you exactly what you're supposed to be posting and what you're supposed to be messaging people. And it helps us so much. It's just, you'll be coached so much that you will be successful if you are willing to put the time in. And I'm not saying tons of time. I am an attorney with 3 little kids, or I was an attorney with 3 little kids. Now I'm an attorney with 3 kind of biggish kids, not too big. But when I started, I was an attorney with 3 little kids, and I still was able to carve out time. You could carve out time. You just need to be, again, willing to go out of your
Well, I mean, the fact that she's still working as an attorney would tell me personally that top 1% in sipology is not earning nearly enough money in order to be able to work this full time. But that's just my opinion. If you know anything more about sipology, please let me know down below, because like I said, I never talked about them and I didn't really look into them too much yet. Maybe I'll make a deep dive or something like that in the future.
Comfort zone and willing to be coached, and you'll be coached so much and be successful in this company. And I am excited to see all your success.
Oh my gosh, so good, so good. And I mean, that's it. I'm so happy you brought up the training, because that is something that is so important that when you join, there's not guesswork. Like, we have systems in place, we have training in place, we have a roadmap, we have a game plan to help you every single step of the way. Once you make that choice, like, yes, I want to give this a try, and then you make the choice of, yes, I'm going to show up, then you just follow the game plan, the roadmap, the training. We're with you every single step of the way to write whatever success story that you want to write. So whether you're listening to the replay or you are watching this live, make sure to get back with the person that invited you, because right now we have those 2 different kit options. Right now you're eligible for over $1,000 in bonuses in your first 30 days, which Laura was saying is like it's just a little bit better than how it was 5 years ago whenever she joined and had no training. Now you have this game plan, you have this roadmap, and you have this setup. There has never been a time like right now to join. So get back with the person that invited you.
There has been a better time to join, and it was actually years ago when the company was only starting up. That was definitely the best time that anyone should have joined.
Let them know that you're ready to go, and we cannot wait to celebrate you. Laura, Tisha, I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank y'all so much for just being transparent, sharing your hearts. And guys, I'll see you guys back here next week. Have an awesome one, y'all.
I think this was just a lot of BS. You let me know down below if you have any extra information about sipology that you would like me to know or note the next time. I don't know if I guess it will be interesting to see more on maybe like the business side of the things. I mean, it's a TEA MLM. It's not very exciting, is it? Anyways, I'm gonna wrap that up here. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. You're a trooper. I really appreciate that. And big shout out to all my channel members as always. Thank you guys for being here. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.